week of Oshkosh was also the same week we got our first two kits, the Empennage kit and the wing kit. I ordered the Empennage in February 2025 and the wing kit a couple months later in April. And they just so happened to get to Torrance at the same time, so I had them shipped them at the same time. For the truck, I didn't get the Tommy gate option because we had the forks on the skid loader, so just made it work that way. Pulled the boxes out, loaded them on the forks, and then just took them to the machine shed. Some of the boxes are a couple hundred pounds or a few hundred pounds, so definitely can't just walk it over there by hand. The boxes came in pretty good shape. I had a little bit of damage, but not too bad. Not as bad as what I was kind of expecting it to be honest. In the back there is the wing kit, and the front one is the Empennage kit. It's really cool to see how these small boxes turn into these large wings and large Empennage pieces. From when I placed the order to when I received it was about 5 months from South Africa to California to my house. And 1 month of that was ocean travel. So once everything was unloaded, I decided to open up the Empennage box, take a peek at it. You can see there's a packing list and the prints that come with it. The packing list includes all the items in the box, and they all have specific part numbers. And the first thing you're supposed to do is go through and just verify that you've received all the parts on that packing list. And any parts missing, then you would go into Sling's website, Slingshot, and enter that part number in and say it was missing or it had an issue or something like that. In the Empennage kit, I had 0 issues. And all parts were accounted for. Since I had a little room to work with and I didn't really want to take up any more floor space, we ended up finding some slat boards and we hung those up on the walls. And that's what I used for hanging up like the little bitty pieces, the rivets and the nuts and bolts. Sling does a really great job of packaging everything up into like little kits within the kit. And as you can see on the print here, they have them kind of broke out by little sections. And a lot of times they do group those up with those little small parts, so it works really well just to hang those up on the slat board, and then when I come to that part of the manual, it's kind of all right there ready to go. So once we got the Empennage inventoried, that took about 4 hours, but everything was accounted for, and then it was time to start on the wings. So I wanted to get everything inventoried right off the bat. That way, if I had any missing pieces or any kind of components that were damaged, we could get them in the system and get them coming right away. My plan was to work on the Empennage probably for a month roughly, and then the wings would take a lot longer, so I had a little bit of leeway to work with. But you can see here it's a very overwhelming task going through this inventorying system, looking at everything that I'm eventually going to have to touch. So you know, that's kind of the fun of it too. But I got the kids and the wife involved here a little bit, helping me run through this list. It definitely helps having multiple people do this part, because trying to find those part numbers with thousands of pieces it takes a lot of work. So I like what we did here. Our approach was good. However, I think when I took out some of these ribs from the packages, I wish I would have left them in the package, so that way when I got to that part of the build, like I was talking about with the smaller pieces, the same thing's true with the ribs. But it wasn't that big of a deal later on. Just took a little bit more of find the needle in the haystack type of thing. But essentially we're just inventorying everything, not really labeling anything at this time. Just inventory it and then put it right back in the box. Make sure we have everything we need. The wing kits, we had just a couple missing pieces. Very small items, so got that into Sling, and they had them shipped back out to me within a couple weeks. So super impressed with that. They are great to work with. And this is something right here. This is the fuel tank. That is one thing I wish I'd done a little bit better here, but there was actually a dent on that skin that we'll see in some other videos. I was able to fix it, but I wish I would have caught it at that point. So maybe a little bit more time on inventorying and checking parts out would be a good idea. Empennage took us 4 hours to inventory, and the wings took us 6 hours. I tracked that by using a tool called Toggle on my phone. It's a free app and works great for this kind of thing. You can set up a project per kit and then use tags for pieces of the kit during the build.